video. Today I will be talking about a traumatic experience in which I was pickpocketed in the capital of Spain, in Madrid. So this happened 4 months ago when I was visiting Barcelona and Madrid. Everyone warned me about Barcelona, that there's a lot of pickpocketing, but fortunately nothing happened there. And in Madrid, the day I arrived, and my this wallet, it was just similar to this one, got pickpocketed from my own pocket, and that happened so fast that I didn't even realize when it was being taken away from me. And I immediately looked around, and the guy who stole it disappeared within seconds. I ran and tried to catch the guy, but that guy knew the streets and he just disappeared. So it was a very traumatic experience for me because in my wallet there was my French residence permit, my Pakistani ID card, my driving license, and two of my bank credit cards or debit cards. So everything else could have been easily remade, like the bank cards can be blocked online, so I just did that on the spot. And my Pakistani IDs and driving license were not important at that moment because they can be remade when I visit back home. But the most problematic thing for me at that moment was the absence of my French residence permit. So I did have my Pakistani passport. It was in my hostel, but my French residence permit, which gives me the right to travel in the Schengen zone, was stolen. So I immediately went to the police station. They wrote a whole report of the incident, and then at one point it was a bit really confusing situation for me because I didn't know what to do when I go back to the airport. How will I be able to show my documents that I had a French residence permit, because even if I have a photocopy, that won't work. So then what I did was I went to the nearest embassy. Since it was the capital, I went to the French embassy, and they told me that they can do nothing about it. I can just write to them online, which didn't help, of course, because the time it will take to reply me back would have been 2 to 3 working days. So then I read online, I used ChatGPT, and the solution which I got was writing or applying a duplication card on the French portal of the prefecture from where my card was made. So I did that immediately on the same day, and there is an option. I logged in, I requested a duplication of my card by mentioning all the details, uploading the police report and everything, and they immediately emailed me a document which said that they have received my duplication request, and I have this new document. It was like a récépissé which allowed me to travel back to France, but in my case I was going back to Germany, so I was again a bit terrified. What if the airport authorities make an issue, because the whole document was in French. So anyways, I got the document, I printed them with me, and everything else was blocked, like the bank cards. So after the whole trip, I went back to the airport and nothing happened. They just checked my passport, and no one asked about my residence permit, because it's more like a domestic flight when you are traveling inside the European Union. I arrived in Germany, nothing happened, but again, if sometimes the border control or the police ask for the ID, it can be a bit problematic for me. But fortunately, nothing of that happened. And then eventually a month later, I got the favorable decision from the prefecture, which is a more proper document to show that I have a legal stay based on my citizenship in France as a student. So based on that, I was more secure. And then on around end of August, the prefecture gave me a notification that I have to pay the 75 euro standard tax, and I can get the card again. And while I was visiting Lille, I collected my residence permit again, and I'm really happy that things worked out in the end. Otherwise, it could have been a big issue if the French government didn't issue me that document on that same day, because then in some cases you have to apply the visa again, and that could take a lot of time. And I don't know, maybe I would have gone out of European Union and then came back, and that can be very tricky, and sometimes people are unable to go back. So I'm really happy that things worked out in the end. But what I want to share in this whole experience is that be extremely careful while traveling in new cities as a tourist. Anything can happen. Just be extra careful. Don't take extra necessary documents or extra necessary cards in your pocket. It's better to, use Apple Pay. Maybe don't use cash. Don't use cards. Cash is fine because even if the cash is gone, not much could be lost, because it's just some, like, 50 or 100 euros. So the important part is that you should be careful, and the whole process was very stressful. And if I look back, it was extremely stressful for me. Every day I was worrying, when will the decision come or when will the card come. So it was a life experience, and I hope no one ever faces something like that. So this is all from this video. All the best to everyone, whoever is traveling, and thank you for watching. And if you have further questions, feel free to comment below. Thank you and goodbye.